In this video, we'll explore political accountability and press freedom concerns in Jamaica, exploring threats, leadership dynamics, and public criticism in a Jamaican political context. The video discusses perceived threats and responses concerning social media criticism in Jamaica.
Or indirectly. And I say indirectly because today, a member of a relief group reached out to me, Kevin, and had me on FaceTime. And when I looked on that screen, I saw my sister getting some relief. And I was overwhelmed. Just talking to her and I couldn't stay long on the phone with her, but she was at a relief center and she was getting a care package. And there were some other things that she was going to receive. And so the person had me talk to her for a little bit. I talked to the person a little bit. So I'm affected indirectly. And in fact, I've extended to say we're all affected, directly or indirectly. We all are, because at the end of the day, I feel your country. So whether you're related, if you're not related to those people by blood, you are related to them by some kind of affiliation, including the fact that we come from the same soil. So big up to all of the support crew, all of the people out there trying to make it happen and at least provide some comfort and some relief to the people who are suffering, even if it's only for a day, Yeah, OT, everybody knows somebody. That's true. Hey, prayers up for Papa Trevor. Big up yourself, Papa Trevor. Margine, stay so. Margine, just so you know, I signed on that thing that you asked me to, and I was there. Came on late, but Bonnie Jump, my brethren from long time, from Firehouse. Big up yourself, my brother. Joanna Marie, big boss, small boss, the real boss. Mrs. Nelson, Bobby D'Souza, Mr. Baxter, Sassy Diva, Raleigh, get well soon, sir. Lakaleka from Jamaica, big up yourself. And of course, our brethren from the UK, Roland. Big up the production crew. We not call no name, but the production crew no one. And of course, what would we be without Producer Joan? Big up yourself. Now, folks, I said Kevin put up something like, Kevin, I'm going to start with this, but we don't want to start with it. You know. Talk to me, Kevin. Come and see you put up something for the Prime Minister, and I don't know if you want me, because this is a hot one, you know, so probably should I leave this to...
No, that's the icing. That's the icing on the cake.
You know, sure, Kevin, let's play the threats.
Well, the thing is yeah. So
the threat is there's one. It's from last week. Let's play the old ones, the new one, and then we'll put up the letter, and then we'll talk to the Prime Minister. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Let me get where's the one with the Prime Minister? I see the one with this is this buddy talking all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah, man. And the other one is over to the right. Wait. Am I looking at the right screen?
Where?
Oh, no. Down below.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Let me bring it down.
Let me move that to my other screen.
All right, the way after though.
No, you do your thing. I'm just moving your screen to my other screen.
Okay. All right, folks, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start out today's program talking about the threats, or at least one threat that the Prime Minister made last year, and it was complemented, if you will, by a threat made by one of his supporters. Then he made another threat last week. And we're not comfortable with him just coming out and just saying all of these things. As a Prime Minister is to act, he's supposed to act in a ministerial fashion, a diplomatic fashion. Certain things, you just can't say. So, I mean, if you're a leader, you lead. You can't be thin-skinned, because that's part of being a leader, that people are going to criticize you. I mean, you name the leader, you're going to get criticized. That's just the nature of the business.
Once you step out front, you're a target.
Right. That's right. And then also, it's not even the leadership position, but there's also the you have to look at it also from the position that people are people, and people are going to criticize you no matter what you do. So right. It's a double whammy. One, you're in a position of visibility, of leadership. You're going to get criticized. And two, people just love criticize. So you're going to get it. So you just can't be that thin skin that every time something happens or somebody says something about you, come out and you start threatening. Anyway, enough said. Here is the first one.
Young person made a post on social media that bordered on being defamatory, probably libelous. The person was tracked and their identity discovered. Long and short, the person was put up to doing this by another political organization. And we have been tracking several such cases where you see some posts being made that border on defamatory or libelous. And when you dig behind it, which we have the capabilities to do, and to discover the people behind these accounts, there are young persons being recruited to do this. It is purely out of good conscience that many of them we don't pursue, because they are young people, they are being misled, they are being used for the wrong purpose. Because they are native to social media, they are being used to manipulate social media, to comment on posts negatively, to spread rumors about people, to do some really nasty things. And you're going to see some actions very shortly for those persons. Much of what is being done is in fact against the law. I want to say to you, the people who have chosen to be a part of the Jamaica Labour Party, the Jamaica Labour Party does not use or endorse the use of social media to attack people's character, to assassinate people's character, to spread misinformation. We have too many good news items, too many achievements that you need to promote without having to resort to attacking people. No, we deal with policies and programs and principles. People who don't have policies, who don't have programs, and don't have principles, they try to attack people.
All right.
So you're commenting on this before you move on? Commenting on this again?
Go ahead. I'll bring up the second one. Go ahead.
Because, you know, there are some key things that are said in this that we talked about last year and we'll talk about again this year. It's like the gift that just keeps on giving. Now, people, bear in mind that this happened at a time when this group here, One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, had started doing things that had never been done before, organizing protests here in the United States. And they're not political protests. No, some of you are new to this broadcast, so you might not have heard. Some of you have probably been told that this is a politically affiliated broadcast or platform. It is not. I will say it again, there is no political affiliation here. Now, the protests that some of you have heard of by others, or whether positively or negatively, the protests were about accountability, not about political stance. The fact that this administration happens to be at the head of, or the focal point of, the majority of the corruption of which we address, that is the nature of the beast. Now, fast forward kind of look at the last video. The last thing that was said speaks of things being illegal and the threat of coming after. Alright. I dare anybody to say they're going to get up and go after someone in a foreign country that's a foreign citizen because of their feelings were hurt. What? Seriously? Mr. Prime Minister? Come on. You said it back then and it never sounded right. And when we play it again, it sounds worse. I don't know if you forget things that are recorded. This is one such thing. And because we're not a platform of 9-day wonders here, if you forget, we'll remind you. Your threat, sir, happens to be illegal. And I'm no law professor, I'm no law student, I'm no law professional, and I know that. So maybe it was probably because it was before your doctorate. Because this was before the doctorate, wasn't it? You hadn't gotten a doctorate yet. It must have been that. No, yes, your doctorate has nothing to do with that. I agree. So, brethren, why? Why? Provost, I'm going to step down off this box for a moment.
All right, no problem. You know, let me step up on the box where you just stepped on alpha. If you listen carefully to what he said, the Prime Minister said people are making comments bordering on defamation. There is no crime. I repeat, there is no crime listed as bordering on defamation. It's either defamation or not. And by the way, defamation is libel or slander. Slander is the spoken word. Libel is written word. Both of them, when combined, you can just, the general term is defamation. But if you're going to sue somebody for defamation, then you have to specify it's libel, written, or slander, spoken. But there's no crime as bordering on. That's like saying you're bordering on, I don't know, You're bordering on speed.
Bordering on pregnancy. That's what you're bordering. You're
Yeah,
bordering
you're
on.
bordering on pregnancy. It's nonsense. There's nothing. And here's the thing: if somebody defames you, you know what that is? It's a civil matter. It's a civil matter. You sue them for defaming your character. That's what it is. It's not a criminal matter. And he said that they have too many achievements to promote. Then promote them and let people, express themselves in a free manner. The Constitution provides for that. Let people express themselves. Then he said that people are taking to social media to attack character. Again. The Prime Minister, if you believe you've been defamed, there is recourse, and that recourse is a civil action. But you see what he's doing? He's using the state resources to go after someone because of a personal matter. That is a no-no.
Correct.
That is a no-no. You can't use state resources to investigate a personal matter, defamation. If he had said they were threatening me to kill me, no, that's different. That's a crime. That's not even defamation. That's a crime.
Mhm.
So I don't understand. And then he said that people are commenting negatively about him and the government. So what? You expect everybody to just love you and just say positive things about you, especially when you're not acting in a positive manner? Come on, Mr. Prime Minister, man, do better than that. And then you said, oh, we are about policies, program, and principles. That being the case, spread the gospel. Forget about them people who are talk ill of you. Forget about them, because you know what? Let your good works speak for themselves. People will hearken to that. If you're doing good and people are saying ill about you, guess what happened? The crowd going and say, we are going to buy him though. We're not going to buy what them say. Because you know why? We are witnesses to what he's doing, and we have the evidence. Now let me play you. This is what that's what the Prime Minister said, right? Now let me play you shortly after the Prime Minister made that statement, which I consider to be a threat. Then one of his supporters did this.
Joked on the wagon.
Let me tell you that every waking moment will be spent to track them down and to give them what they duly deserve. Trust and believe. It is happening a lot.
Them come then upon the live now.
You have seen 5 lawsuits already coming from the top. Well, the ones that are coming from social media, you don't see them yet, but they are coming. They are coming because the social media ones are a little bit more difficult to find.
The British are coming.
Sure.
The British.
Yes.
But I have a video of you and them something there, but they're showing their faces, but they're not giving their names and addresses.
Why not getting it? Because we are getting it. You trust and believe.
Brazilian.
Getting those names. We have some of the names already. And we are getting the
Philippines.
additional names and we're verifying.
You
Some
know
of them will find them house already. We'll find them
Yeah.
house already. We see them in them house or water plants already. It's already. It's only a matter of time.
You know, say 99%.
Guess what? Some of them are local in Jamaica and some of them are overseas. And trust and believe, of the 7 that are on my list on social media, 4 have already been identified. 4 from 7 has already been identified. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. For all of them who used to post people picture up and having no argument. Don't worry. Let's call her.
Something.
No, we have something else we have to play. So those are the two comments, right, or threats or whatever. 2 things that we find offensive. No, before I go any further, there's a gentleman in the chat, or a dear friend, or a brother. I see him put up. He was watering his garden in a certain state. And when him see some strange car coming, and the man have to drop the hose and run. Because the man felt threatened because of what the Prime Minister and his supporters said. And I felt so bad for this gentleman. I felt so bad for this colleague. I felt so bad for this brother that I said to him, listen, I tell him, I said, reach out to Kevin. Kevin probably But this is what's going on, that them have people scared. Them have people run up and down like thief. Even in them own yard, people run up and down like thief. And we simply cannot afford to have that happen. So Kevin, with the letter then. With the letter when we write it.
It's on the PM.
On the PM. Prime Minister. Okay. All right. Which one of them? Because we have 2 of them, We have Prime Minister and Integrity Commission.
I see. The one to the left. PM to the left.
Oh, this one here.
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, that's PMIC.
That's PMIC?
Yeah. The one to the left. Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah, the third one.
All right. Which part the letter there? I don't see it.
Down towards.
Oh, down the bottom. Okay. All right.
Now, as you find that. So here is someone on social media stating that
No.
people on social media are going to face consequences for the same thing that he is doing on social media. Make it make sense.
We can't find the letter.
Wait, how are you there, man?
See if we can find it.
PMIC. No, man. Oh, yeah, that look like PM.
That's this PMIC, yeah.
No, not in PMIC, in PM.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is PM. This is PM. This is PM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, PMIC is the one that has the integrity.
Yeah, I don't see the letter though.
But the letter is towards the end of the list.
See if you find it for a minute, because I don't see it. Yeah, but folks, yeah, the prime minister and at least one supporter that we're aware of. People are run up and down, not only in Jamaica but in a foreign, and that is not good. We can't have that, because we're supposed to be a democratic society. Excuse me, where you can say certain things, and then there are consequences if you overstep the boundary. Yeah, that's it. Oh, it was in PM.
Yeah, man. You were in PMIC.
Okay. All right. So here's what happened, folks. Those two statements were made last year. So you know what I did? I am a person, I like to set the record straight. I like to create a record. As I'm saying, you want to be administratively pure. You want to establish a record so that should something happen, you already have a record that you can point to and say, look, I complained about this and something else is happening now that affects that. So there's a record that they can look at and say, well, yes, he did complain. So what I did, I wrote to all of the law enforcement agencies and I said to them, and I also said, I believe I sent this letter to the parliament as well. And I said to them, listen, the Prime Minister of Jamaica made a statement, and I attached the video I just played. I attached that. It went as an enclosure with this, as an attachment. And then I also attached the supporter, his statement. I attached it to them and I said, listen, we don't feel comfortable with these statements. And so we're letting you know that we're taking it seriously, and we want you, law enforcement agencies, plural, to take it seriously. And we want you to monitor these people, the Prime Minister and these people. Because here's the thing now, if the FBI is aware that they're planning to do something to you, the FBI has to tell you. They can't sit back and make something happen to you. They're compelled to tell you that, and if possible, prevent it. That, listen, these guys, we are on a telephone line and we're hearing them planning to kill somebody, or we're hearing them planning to do this to somebody. We're in whatever it is. If they're planning to do you harm, they have to take a stand. So we're telling them that monitor these phone lines and listen carefully to what's going on, because this is what they've said and we're taking them seriously. And I sent this letter. Here's a letter dated July 6, 2024. And you see the title, Perceived Threats and Intimidation by Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his supporter against social media commentators residing in the United States. Because remember, I said some of them overseas, right? And because the FBI wouldn't have jurisdiction if he's saying that about people living in Jamaica, unless they're U.S. citizens. But definitely, when the gentleman came out and said, we know and some of them are overseas, that conferred jurisdiction right there. So there it is. He said, dear sir, madam, my name is Wilfred Rattigan. I'm a retired FBI supervisory special agent. I'm also a practicing attorney, social media commentator, and a resident of Anne Arundel County in Maryland. I write to inform you about perceived intimidation and threats against me and other social media commentators as a result of our continued criticism of the government of Jamaica and Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And then I attached his statement. And it says, a conversation on social media between an individual whose voice appears to be identifiable with the social media personality named Christopher O'Neill McCurdy, aka Chopper John, Chopper, and two unidentified females. It should be noted that in their conversation, one of the females referred to the person believed to be McCurdy, Chops. Additionally, McCurdy is a well-known and fervent supporter of Prime Minister Holness and the government of Jamaica. And so I start talking about the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Hold on a second. So I started telling them that, hey, the government of Jamaica, they're running this so-called movement in America called the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And it is led, directed, and influenced by the government of Jamaica. And there are several U.S. citizens who are representatives of this movement, and they're possibly acting in violation of U.S. laws. So all of you out there, and I talk about Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative, stay tuned. And
is that a threat, Mr. Rattigan?
No, stay tuned is not a threat.
Oh, okay.
Stay tuned is a statement. So we talk about that and how them violate the thing and blah, 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 blah. and then went on to talk about, here it is, at a youth meeting in June 2024, the Prime Minister indicated that the government of Jamaica was using its capabilities to track and identify individuals who were using social media to comment and post negatively, to spread rumors about people, to do some really nasty things. And you are going to see some actions very shortly for those persons. What does that mean? You are going to see some actions very shortly for those persons who comment and post negatively about us. And then we have Mr. McCurdy, who said, let me tell you that every waking moment would be spent to track them down and give them what they truly deserve. What does that mean? We have some of the names already, and we're getting the additional names, and we are verifying. So they're investigating people. Some of them, we find them house already. We find a house already. We see them in their house watering plants already. We see them already. These are direct quotes. It's only a matter of time. And guess what? Guess what? Some of them are local in Jamaica and some of them are overseas. And believe, trust and believe, of the 7 that are on my list on social media, 4 have already been identified. 4 from 7 has already been identified. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time for all of them who you see who post people's picture up. No argument. It's coming. Professor, I mean, to me, it's clear. And remember, some of these statutes, it's not what you, the perceived aggressor, what you intended. It's what the person to whom it was directed, how they feel about it. So it's not, you can't really come like this and say, oh, him shouldn't feel a way because blah, 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 blah. Because no. The person said, no, this is how I felt when this is how you make me feel when you said this, right? So we go there and say right there, in light of the public statements made by the Prime Minister and McCurdy, I perceive a clear intent to intimidate and threaten me and my social media colleagues for engaging in constitutionally permissible action, meaning that they might get ready to violate my constitutional rights. The totality of the circumstances, that is to say, statements made by the Prime Minister, Police Commissioner Anderson, and McCurdy, suggest a continuing pattern and practice of potential violation of constitutional rights, physical harm, and intimidation. Notwithstanding, my colleagues and I will continue with our pursuit of holding this and future Jamaican governments accountable. See that? It says, it must be noted that the Prime Minister is a regular visitor to the DC area, which is in proximity to my residence. And it is believed that McCurdy, based on his attendance at Cornell University in New York and prior employment residence in the Atlanta area, has extensive contacts in the U.S. He's presently residing and working in Jamaica, and his U.S. immigration status is unknown. That is Mr. McCurdy. Finally, I am notifying, I'm going to put this right there, so see that? I am notifying all recipients. So not one person me send it to. Enough people me send it to. I'm notifying all recipients that should any catastrophe befall me, should anything happen to me, my family members, or those who are publicly critical of the government of Jamaica and the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister and McCurdy must be considered prime suspects. See it right there, sir? So me never mince words. Me tell them, say, anything happen to Professor, look on the Prime Minister, look for the Prime Minister. Look on the Prime Minister first. Look by him first, because he might make statements that are unbecoming of a leader. He might make statements that are becoming of a thug. He might make statements that threaten people for speech. No. And I tell them, say, I want sitter. I want to know money time, I want to sit right there, so I want to know money time. Pfizer and SIGINT, them know what that means. Physical surveillance and signal surveillance, them know what that means. Put them on the watch list. Of course, they're not going to want to put the Prime Minister on the watch list right now, at least not now, maybe later on. But certainly Mr. McCurdy, them can put him on it and them evaluate and a threat assessment and them visa revocation. So we do all of that last year. And the Prime Minister now listen. See him come back here. I think this is the one, Kevin. Let me play it down.
Initial few days, there was a scramble. And that scramble essentially was, my hand is up, I need help. And the system trying to respond to the loudest voices or the most frantic wave of hands. As of today, we are out of that phase. Now, a systematic response will take over in the relief effort. And you would see that the government has made certain actions to ensure that there is a systematic response. Let me say it in another way. I hear the cry of every baby that is now hungry in a community that is not yet reached. It goes to bed with me. And I have to think of it in this way. Do I try myself to jump on a helicopter with a package to reach the baby that is crying? Or do I try to develop a system to get more helicopters in, to get more packages put together, to get more supplies in, to get more support to be able to reach those babies that are crying?
We could just listen to this nonsense that we might talk. We parse through this on Wednesday night, and we'll probably go back through it again today. But what you're hearing here, what you're listening to, is a bunch of nonsense. What you're listening to excuses from a failure. You're listening to excuses from somebody who has no clue about disaster management. None what, and I'll point out those. I'll make it my business to point those out to you. But we're trying to get to a point where he mentioned something. So bear with me.
While at the same time saying to Keith and Darrell and Minister Tufton, get out there in the scramble. And so that is what you have been seeing. People individually going out there trying to relieve the human suffering. But that is not a sustainable response. The sustainable response is what you would see the government doing now. One, we have to streamline ODPEM, both as the office of this.
We'll soon get to ODPEM, people, because we're going to show you how politics mash up ODPEM. We're going to show you.
Disaster preparedness, which that function was done, that phase is over. And now we are in the phase of the emergency management, which is the relief. Now, let's just be clear. The government can't stand up ODPEM with its own parallel structure of having all the people that would be necessary to pack the relief items, to load the trucks, to move the trucks to where they have to be stored, to clear the roads, all those little minor functions that make the big service works, and keep them and pay them throughout the year for every year, even when there is no disaster. Where that capability exists is in the JDF. It is a multifunctional capability. I do commend the JDF and, of course, the JSF as well. The JDF is the repository of the logistics and engineering.
While we're waiting for him to make that statement, the statement that we consider a threat, again, just I know some of you are finding repulsive. You can't listen to him. But let me make an argument for you to listen to him. The only way you can constructively design an argument against him is by listening to what he has to say. Don't listen to what other people said he said, or what you read, or what somebody. No, listen to the words coming out of his mouth. Pay attention to them. That's the best way to make your argument, because then you can, like what we did, we can go back and we can actually quote him. That's what you need to do. So I know it's difficult for some of you, but please, bear with me. Actually, I bear with him. So
capabilities of the government. And in hindsight, as I reflect on how we have executed policy, not many Jamaicans would know this, but in the last 10 years of my administration, we have invested heavily in the JDF. In fact, we have doubled the size of the JDF, both in terms of men and women, material, equipment, and technology. We made an investment a few years ago in expanding our fleet of helicopters, expanding our offshore patrol vessels, expanding our radars, expanding our communications, increasing the number of bushmasters, and expanding the number of units that are in the JDF. Today, it is paying off. The logistical capability of the JDF is certainly best in class in the region. And that is what is giving us now the horsepower to be able to deal with a Category 5 level disaster. So the JDF gives the legs and arms to the management functions of the emergency. So it makes sense that there is seamless coordination between the JDF and ODPEM. And therefore, you would recognize the movement of ODPEM to OPM, where the JDF is already under the portfolio of the Office of the Prime Minister, appointed someone to now head the ODPEM, seconded from the JDF. So we expect that there will be seamless operations. Why is this so? In the relief phase, there may be a sense that we will do this for a few weeks. I want to just bring everybody's mind to the reality that this will be a few months operation. And the country needs to understand this. We have relief entities here. Some of them are capable of carrying out long-term relief. Most of them are not capable to carry out long-term relief and will take up stumps and leave the theater of operations after a few weeks. So the government has to have that base capability to be able to sustain the relief effort for a long period of time. And that is what I have been working on to ensure that your government has staying capability to bring relief to 6 parishes and other divisions and constituencies in other parishes that are impacted. We don't have the exact number of persons who are impacted, but we can estimate that it would be somewhere in the region of about 600,000 persons. Now think of it. We have never had a sustained operational capability to bring constant relief effort to 600,000 persons and what that requires. So the planning that has to go into that for the logistics and management takes some time. In our case, only a few days before we can stand it up so that we can reach every crying baby who is hungry. So Commander Gale has been tasked. The CDS already knows what.
Let me remove it. It wasn't on that video, but at least you get a sense of how clueless this man is, because you know when you start talking about disaster management, up them it starts for what? OPEM, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, something like that. First part of it is disaster preparedness, so they were supposed to be prepared, right? No preparation. And they kept feeding that nonsense to the world that, yes, we are prepared. Let me prepare. A brethren of mine, I want to read into something. This brethren is outstanding, superior when it comes to the English language. Man, I mean, I enjoy reading stuff from this man. Let me see if this is the tape, Kevin, with the one I'm checking.
Monday, I had a call with the UN Secretary General. The UN Secretary General is a friend of Jamaica. He has visited me a few times. We're always working closer together on climate change, on financing for development, and he does have a special place in his heart for Jamaica. And I said to him, what we needed was the best-in-class logistics capabilities. And within a few days, yesterday I had a meeting with the Deputy Secretary General in charge of these kinds of operations from UN Ops. And they are mobilizing a full team that will come and support the logistics and management efforts of ODPEM. So yes, we have capabilities, but as I have said, no matter what capability you thought you had, when you are hit by a Category 5 storm, right, you must get even greater and better capabilities. And so UN Ops is here. I know they have had several meetings with private sector, I believe, civil society, and they will be embedded in ODPEM. And the idea is, after this experience, the technical know-how and capabilities will be transferred to ODPEM. Yeah. So we are expecting that after this.
We have to go find it's not that one either, Kevin. There's another one. Well, let me just read you where my brethren write. Him say, and he's talking about people who support. This is the way I'm taking. People who support the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister himself. And him say, it says here, high on their own supply of hubris, motivated by the unrealism of ambition, with delusional claims to mini superpowerdom. These self-enriching venal mimic men proudly asserting that they know whose backyard they inhabit and whose sun they orbit, have kept their mind on the money and the money on their mind. Unable to stand up for anything, they bent over for everything, and having picked a side, found themselves distrusted at home with few friends in a brutally cold world. But them rich duo, and them have enough car, enough house, enough gal. The man on the donkey back, a fantastically fabulous fabler, had spent a great deal of time tilting at windmills while gloating about his monumental achievements, including the peace, prosperity, macroeconomic stability, and economic independence of proud Cuckoo Land, the little country that could and did. He dreamt, he often would say, but only when asleep, an activity in which he seldom engaged. Wide awake, he was wishful, delusional, and deceptive. Them coming after me, he once screamed. Many men wish death on me, he asserted. Tell me them name. Their name is Legion. He saw them hiding out in every corner. Wild alligators, vicious accusers, despicable detractors, rabid rumor mongers, vile gossipers, fake newsmakers, misinformers, and bad news whores, all sought to diminish his monumental achievement, water down him thing and tear down his country. After him work hard for build it, them said hardly work. Them would have called him all kind of name, tell lie upon him, Say him a thief. No respect was accorded him. No trust. His confidence often wavered, but him rallied back and secured a famous victory. Vindication. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and I will refute every tongue that accuses me, he boldly proclaimed. Now stop it there, so people. There's so much to unpack right here, but I think you don't know who we are talking about. I think you don't know who we are talking about. So we don't want to waste any time, because what happened is that we're supposed to have a guest right now. What happened is that the Prime Minister recently made another threat, said some words amounting to what we believe to be a threat. And the whole purpose of the exercise of showing you what he said, what Chops said, and the letter, the whole purpose of that is to indicate to you that we're taking it very, very seriously. And I reiterate, should anything happen to me, my family members, my colleagues in the blogging fraternity, people who are on social media trying desperately to hold government accountable, should anything happen to any one of them, any one of us, the Prime Minister is supposed to be cast as subject number one. And we're going to send the letter out again to all of these law enforcement agencies, and we're going to send this new one that we said, hey, we don't like all this money attack, and we know what he's capable of doing, not only based on what he said, that him can find people, him can track people, but yet still them can't track the criminals, and them can't track, my people dead all over the place and can't find them right now, but also what he's done, because he's acting in a dictatorial fashion. You can't criticize him. I've never heard of this, that you can't criticize a leader in a democracy. You criticize him and the man go crazy, thin skin. Well, we have to put a stop to that. So we're going to notify the authorities again.